Welcome! Welcome! My name is John Halcyon Stin, and it is so good to spend this moment with you. I wanted to speak briefly today about a conversation that I had with a dear friend. And I need to preface this by saying, even though part of our conversation I'm going to use as an example, I need to be very clear that this person is incredibly impressive. In fact, he is so successful. I've known him for many, many years, and he has watched his career explode and him go from being an employee to starting his own business and being a real leader and someone who is so inspiring in so many ways. In fact, he's someone that I think has been a teacher for me about the danger of comparison. He's one of those people where if I look at his achievements and start to play the game of comparing, I can put myself into a bad place and a depressed place and a insecure place. And so that's never a good idea. You should never be comparing yourself to other people or anything except for who you were yesterday. And as he's explaining to me, we're talking about where we're at and what we're doing and all the exciting projects that we have going on. And he said this one phrase that just kind of, it reminded me of some of my practice and some of what we talk about here. He said that he was going to be, in the new year, he had these big plans about growing his business 10 times the size it is now. Even with all of the success, even with all of this like amazingness that was enough to make me feel insecure and small, he was still like, I'm going to grow it 10 times that size. And it reminded me of how easy it is to get caught up in the game, the trap of Western success, of single metric success. That metric of success where you measure whether you're doing well or not by how much you have, how much you're getting. You always want more, bigger, greater, expansion. We have a very single, two-dimensional look at the world and about success when we are only looking about it in those terms. And the danger is that in the historic perspective, we as individuals are winning in such dramatic ways. We have, we have so much luxury, so much safety, so much security. It can always be improved, and you can argue with me on these points. But in the scheme of what the rest of the planet is having to deal with, and what the rest of history has had to deal with, we have so much. And that is why we can get into that kind of unfortunate scenario where if you believe the story that to make yourself happier, you need to keep adding, keep growing, keep expanding, you find yourself in that situation that even while you have this winning, successful situation that you're in the middle of, to get that feeling of winning, because your baseline has grown so high, you have to grow it 10 times that size. And it was such a good reminder of why it is so significant and so important to recalibrate your baseline, to have moments like this, or moments personally, or moments in nature where you recalibrate, where you focus on gratitude, where you look at your blessings, where you tune in to the very simple things that you're taking for granted with your health, in your relationships, in the world, in your life, and really take inventory of all the things that you may not even be aware of that are amazing and great, so that you don't fall into that trap of needing 8 more inches. I mean, a TV that's 8 inches bigger. What did you think I was talking about? Or a newer phone, or a newer car. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying the bells and whistles and the toys of the world. The problem is when we lose our footing and our baseline starts creeping so that we don't even realize the fact that the blessing, the magic of having a car now. And we feel like we won't be happy until we get that new awesome car. We won't be happy until we get that new awesome house. We won't get happy until we get that. And it's not just stuff. It's also, we won't be happy until we get a six-pack. Instead of being happy about the state of health we're in. I went to the chiropractor this morning, as I do frequently. It's something I've been experimenting with the last year, and it's been very good for me, with one chapter of painful exception. But he asked me, how's your neck doing? How's your back doing? And I was like, I hadn't been thinking about it, because for the previous couple months, my story and my situation had been about pain. I had a rib problem and I'd had back problem. And so as he asked me that this morning, I had this like, wait, my back is good. Wait, my rib is pretty good. Yay! And then I was able to refocus on this new baseline, and that I've got my health. And in that recalibration, I obliterated the story that I had been going through about my health in recent weeks, which is that I'm out of shape, I haven't been exercising, I put on some pounds, the holidays have not been kind to my belly. It's the same trap. Whether it's the cooler car or the ripped abs, nothing wrong with desiring or working for those things, as long as we can recognize the gift of the now, the blessings that we are experiencing that become silent, become deaf to the music of our life, because it's always happening. That's one reason why before we start here, we just take a moment to get present and notice the sounds. You might notice a bird song that's been going all day and you didn't even hear. Or you might notice a tingly sensation in your knee that has been, until you refocus on the things that are happening, your brain has the tendency to just tune it out. It's a coping mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. It's totally functional and biologically sound. Unfortunately, it's terrible for a practice of being happy. It's actually it's a gradual and natural push towards anxiety. So we have to practice that recalibration to joy, recalibration to noticing our blessings, recalibration to awe. Oh, wow. And I got to tell you, these few minutes that we've just been talking and spending the time together right now have been so helpful for me. I've been a little overwhelmed. I've been a little stressed. I've been a little disappointed in my holiday belly. So thank you for being a part of this recalibration and this reminder. Hopefully you are also enjoying a practice of recalibration, enjoying a practice of gratitude. Hopefully you are tuned into your blessings and the magic of this moment that we're sharing right now. And if you're listening to the archive, this moment doesn't happen chronologically. This moment happens when we share this intentional vibration. So thank you for being a part of this moment. I love you.